What's up guys, how are you guys doing? In this video, I want to talk to you guys about if Heidemarie is a mess summon or not. Okay, everyone had a lot of time to test her out and stuff like that, and I did the same as well. And yeah, is she a mess summon or not? And I want to kind of do that kind of video, so people maybe who are like hesitating about like summoning on her and stuff like that, they get like an idea of like what she does. Okay, but before I go into like if you guys should summon for her or not, I want to show you guys three different absolutely broken interactions she have with a lot of different characters. Okay, I want to show you guys three different teams you guys can use that synergize really well with her. Okay, and then we're gonna talk about if she's a must summon or not. Okay, of course, if you guys don't have time, the short answer is yes, she's a must for freaking summon. Okay, she's probably the most broken character in the game, guys. Okay, that came out so far, especially if you guys have her E6 right here. Okay, so her E6 is the most disgusting thing ever, guys. Okay, so what this does is, if you read what it does, it says change create Effulgent Blade card to all attribute cards. Each time Crimson Blade is activated, 40% damage amount to Crimson Blade max 480%. Okay, so this Crimson Blade is something she gets with her E2 right here. Okay, this Crimson Blade, what it does is at the start of the battle, move the Effulgent Compression, which is like this card right here, right? Card to hand, and at the start of the turn, gain 5 Crimson Blade. And this is pretty much where you're gonna get the Crimson Blade stuff. Okay, and when a linked, and what Crimson Blade does when a linked card is used, manually or discarded, 120% extra attack to the enemy with the highest HP, and when activated, decrease Crimson Blade by 1 up to 8 stacks right here. Okay, but her E6, what makes it so broken is this right here. Okay, was the first part, right? Change create Effulgent Blade card to all attributes. Okay, what this means is you pretty much can use Heidemarie in any world and she would just ignore any typing. Okay, pretty much her Effulgent Blade right here, they're going to become like all typing, so they're going to be strong against any attribute. Okay, so yeah, you could just use her everywhere and she will carry you on every single chaos stages. Okay, that's also why she's broken. And of course you could also use her in Story, which is also absolutely broken there as well, and you could use her in the Spiral Tower, right? Yeah, she's just gonna be doing a lot more. She's gonna be doing normal damage to any attribute. Okay, and not only that, that Crimson Blade right here, right, the 480% stack is insane, guys. Okay, so what does this, right? Each time a Crimson Blade is activated, 40% damage amount to Crimson Blade max plus 480%. Right, yeah, she's just disgusting. Okay, especially at E6. Okay, yes, so she's a must summon. Okay, anyways, let's go inside. I want to show you guys this build, like the three different teams inside the Spiral Tower right here, and we're gonna talk about why they're so broken. Okay, so the first team, so let me show you guys the three team I'm going to talk about. Okay, the first team you guys can use that's absolutely broken is Heidemarie, Nia, and Selena. Okay, now this team is absolutely broken. Okay, so we're gonna be showcasing that first team first. Okay, so we're going to showcase this team first. The second team that I want to talk to you guys about is Heidemarie, Tifera, and Orlia. Okay, this is another second team you guys can make that's also absolutely broken. Okay, and third is as I guess, since I wrote like Heidemarie and Melin is an interesting one. Okay, I'll show you guys how this shit works. Okay, so we got Melin, we got Heidemarie, and we got Tifera. Okay, as you guys know, Tifera is everywhere because of her AP generation and like sustain capability. Okay, so let's try this out. Okay, so the first team I want to talk to you guys about is, so let's talk about the first team, like save that. Okay, so this first team is pretty much, the idea behind this team is pretty much every time Heidemarie attacks, Selena will pretty much just follow up with her coordinated attack, and she's gonna be doing extra damage. Okay, so every time she uses her sword attacks, Selena will do extra damage, and pretty much you're gonna be flying through any content. Okay, with this team. Okay, and of course Nia is here to mainly be like a discard support. Okay, so you definitely on Nia. This is one of the best things you guys can pick up on Nia, because this is what makes Heidemarie even more broken. Okay, what this does is it will discard one card and then draw 2 cards of the combatant who owns the card discarded. Okay, so pretty much how this works is you want to discard Heidemarie card, and then when you discard it, Nia will be able to draw 2 of Heidemarie's attack cards. Okay, so pretty much you'll have easier time to cycle through it. Okay, and then this is very important right here, right? Having this the Soul Reef, two copies of this is going to be important, because both of them are really good. Okay, so what the first one, what it does is, for 1 turn, when a card is in hand is discarded, 100% extra attack to enemies to random enemies by a combatant who owns that card, reduce cost of this card by 1. So I have the Divine Epiphany for this to reduce the cost by 1, so I'll have enough AP to kind of do stuff, okay? So the main reason why this is really good is that extra attack right here, okay? So for one, when a card is in hand, discarded 100% extra attack to random enemy by the combatant who owns that card, right? So very, very good right there. And then you got the upgrade version, okay? This upgrade is going to be really good because what it does when a card is discarded, 1 disable and 2 elasticity, okay? This card got over buffed, okay? This thing is absolutely broken, okay? What elasticity does is on unlike extra attack, heal 50% for each elasticity, which is absolutely broken. So this extra attack, right? Both Selena and Heidemarie, they're going to be doing a lot of extra attack. So every time they do that, they are healing themselves right here, okay? And then it says on activation, remove elasticity max 5 stack, right? So the elasticity stacks up to 5, and yeah, they're going to get every time they hit the enemy, they are healing by 50%, right, with their extra attacks right here, okay? And then you guys are disable right here, okay? On shuffle, 50% extra attack by allies to random enemies. And on activation, remove disable, right? And then heal 50% for each disable and plus 50% damage amount to extra attacks, right? So yeah, this is pretty much a full extra attack team. So that's the type of this is the kind of like save data you guys want. Ideally, you want to have like 3 copies of this, okay? Because this card is really good for Heidemarie, okay? And for Selena, you pretty much just need this drone bombing card, okay? What it does, when a pushing attribute attack card is used, 50% coordinated attack to the target, right? I have the Divine Epiphany that give me 1 moral and 1 resolve, which is really good, and it's an upgrade. So once you use these 3 upgrades right away, you're gonna be chilling, okay? And then we have this one right here for one time when an attack card of another combatant is used, 100% coordinated attack to the target, right? So pretty much when Heidemarie does her sword attacks, Selena is following up and doing her thing, okay? And I end up getting this absolutely broken engraving on my persona. What it does, it will do 250% and 2 markers. And markers is really good because when an attack card is used, 100% extra attack, tenacity damage equal to 0 cost card decrease mark by 1, okay? Mark's pretty much just buffs the extra attacks, okay? It's very good, okay? But then look at the engraving, absolutely broken right here. It's plus 30% damage amount for each lax engraving. We got 2 of those guys, okay? So that's a 60% damage increase, okay? The reason I went with that is because look at, I have like 3 lax engraving and we have 2 here. So that's 5 lax engraving. So this thing is absolutely broken. So this 2 like engraving combined, I'm getting like 300% damage on Selena, okay? Because right here, 30% for each lax engraving. So we have 5. So if you do 30 times 5, that's 150, right? And then I have 2 of them, so that's 300% multiplier. It's absolutely broken, okay? And then for Heidemarie, you can use any build that lets you create a bunch of effulgent blades, so Selena can follow up, okay? Whenever Heidemarie uses her cards, okay? So let me show you guys here inside the Spire Tower right here, okay? So this is the first team right here. Absolutely broken team right here, okay? I'm just gonna kill this first guy and then we're gonna move on, okay? So pretty much you just use your upgrades right here, right? And then we're gonna use this right here and we're gonna discard this card right here, okay? So we could pull more of Heidemarie's cards, okay? So pretty much there you go. And then we could do right here for 1 turn, right? Since we don't have a lot of cards at the moment, I'm not gonna use any of this stuff right here. But what we could do here is this one I could activate it when I discard it, so I don't want to use it right now. This one's really good, so we're gonna keep that. So I'm just gonna use Heidemarie's skill right here, right? And then we have the swords, right? And then we're gonna do extra attacks. So now what happens is, look, when Heidemarie attacks, Selena follows up, okay? Pretty much, right? Look at this. So we use a bunch of swords, and Selena just following up right there, okay? And then we could just kill this thing and call it a day on the first wave right here, right? Bam, okay, very nice, right? Okay, nice. I did end up getting the Nyx support, so that's amazing. What we could do with Nyx is probably okay, I'm gonna try to discard like Heidemarie's card real quick actually. Okay, with Nyx, so we could pull hopefully pull like more cards. There you go. That's what we want right there. That is what we want right there. Okay, so now what we could do is right here, right? We got this card right here, absolutely amazing right here, right? And we got 2 copies of this thing, so we're gonna use both of them, right? And this thing is pretty much dead, look. Right? Of course, Nia is just doing her thing. And then Heidemarie is just gonna spam. Right? Look at this. See, the enemy dies too fast, okay? I was gonna show you guys how it works, okay? Yeah, this is a bit lower stage, unfortunately. But it's okay. We got this one right here. Just you guys got the idea, right? Selena will be just doing her follow-ups every time Heidemarie does her thing, and then she's gonna be doing extra damage. Okay, so let me show you guys if it happens here. Let's see. Okay, Heidemarie doing her thing. See, Selena just pumping it with like extra attacks right here. Absolutely broken, man. Look at this. This is probably the kind of team you guys are gonna be using for the score challenge whenever that unlocks. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Okay. Okay, now we have more of Heidemarie cards right here, so we're gonna do this, and we're gonna use the Nia's card right here to get more of Heidemarie card. We're gonna discard this. Always discard that card because it's really good. Look at this. Look at the amount of thing I'm getting, right? Because of Nia right there. They're absolutely broken, man. Nia is amazing with Heidemarie, guys. Okay, and then we could do another. So we could discard this one more time, right? In order to get extra cards, but I am actually gonna discard this Persona card first. So we could actually, yeah, see, we could draw more right here. Amazing. Now, okay, so creative forgery for each linked card in hand. That is absolutely broken. So we got one right here. I'm actually gonna use her right here, right? So hopefully she could follow up with her stuff. I'm just gonna use the shield here, just to open the ultimate space right here. And then we got, yeah. So next is Nia. So that's amazing. Now I'm actually gonna just use. Let me just use this right here. Okay. So we already used like 3 of Selena's upgrade cards. So every time Heidemarie does her thing, Selena will follow up pretty much with her thing. Okay, absolutely broken right here. We're just gonna kill this thing, I guess. Yeah, these guys they're dying too fast. Unfortunately, I want to show you guys a good place to showcase this, but yeah, these guys are dying too fast, man. Okay, this is perfect right here. This thing got like 36,000 HP. So let's see how much damage we're gonna do here. Okay, we're gonna use what's her name? Look at this, bro. She's just spamming, bro. I love it. Okay. I'm actually, so quite a card. We could kind of do that. I'm actually just going to discard one of the swords right now for now. And then we're just going to do this. I like how Selena just spamming her thing, man. Yeah, so what do we have for Selena? We do have this. So if I had gotten this, it would have been better for the showcase, because every time, Heidemarie does her thing, my girl, Selena, will follow up pretty much, okay? Let's see how much damage this is going to do right here, okay? So I'm actually just gonna do let me see. So if I do this, let's see. So if we discard everything right there, and then we're gonna discard more right here. And so Heidemarie is just doing her thing, of course. Look at Selena just following up with her thing. Right. Look at Selena just doing her thing. Heidemarie just follows up. It's so broken, man. This combo is so broken, man. Look at this. They're just like popping this thing, bro. Okay, let me see how many cards we have on the draw pile right here. Not a lot, actually. Okay, it's fine. What we could do here is I could actually just use Heidemarie's ultimate right here, because we do have a lot of like stuff on the graveyard, as you guys can see, right? So yeah, we could do that. But you guys get the idea, right? Amazing broken combination right there. Okay, so we're gonna just end the turn right now, and we're gonna wait for the next turn and see how that's gonna go. Okay, she's going to her thing. That's fine. Okay. Look at it. You guys see the amount of things I'm getting right here, okay? That is crazy. Okay. What we could do here is I'm actually going to use the Soul Rift card right here, just to get extra stuff. And then we're going to do this, and then we're going to just do... Let me target one of these guys so we don't kill the boss like too fast. Okay? No, don't target the boss. Relax, bro. Oh my god, she's going after the tanks. Yeah, this thing is dead, bro. Oh my goodness. You guys see how this works, right? Look at Selena just doing her thing, right? Absolutely broken combination right here, okay? I'm actually not gonna end the run right now. I'm just gonna kill this guy, and then we're gonna call it a day, okay? We're not gonna end it. I want to go back and show you guys the other team as well, okay? No, Selena, chill. Okay, so that's the first team. Okay, so pretty much just a whole whole team relying on extra attacks and follow-ups. Okay, so yeah, amazing stuff right there. Okay, so that's the first team you guys can use. Okay, with Heidemarie. Okay, next up is I want to show you guys the next team, which is with Aurelia. Okay, I'm actually gonna save Aurelia one for later, but we're gonna showcase this one right here. Okay, we're gonna showcase Melin, Tifera, and Heidemarie team. And for this team, you are pretty much mainly gonna be focusing on doing a one-turn nuke. Okay, so pretty much let me show you guys how that works. Okay, so for this one, you want to use a different build. Okay, Okay, so for the second team, the Tifera, the save data will be the same, right, with the AP and stuff, so that's fine. But melee is going to be very important here. What you guys want to use with melee is this card specifically right here. Okay, so what does this? It's going to do 204 damage. Next passion card used, 1 extra hit. Okay, this is going to be very important. Okay, with this team. Okay, the other cards you guys can absolutely just discard everything right here. I didn't manage to discard everything because I reached like my remove like limit, so I couldn't remove any of these cards unfortunately. But the only thing you guys gonna need is this card, and maybe you could add like one of these for more AP. You could add more of one of like the personal cards. Okay, just in case. Okay, but the main one is going to be this card right here. And then for Heidemarie, you guys going to be using the one turn build right here. So with a bunch of this creative 60 Fulgent Blades in this card pile build. Okay, so this is the type of data you guys gonna need. Of course, my save data is not that good. Okay, it's not like perfected or whatever, but I end up getting this one right here. This persona is also really good with engraving that increases damage amount of attack card of this unit by 30%, which is really good. And I have the one that says when this card is discarded, it will activate, right? So very good. So, but the main thing is you guys gonna need a bunch of these guys, and that's all the only thing you gonna need. Okay, the main strategy behind this use adding like extra hit to this card and pretty much just nuking. Okay. Because every time you create these things in the graveyard, you are going to be actually powering up this card right here. Okay, so you're going to be powering up this specific card right here, and this thing can stack up infinitely. Okay, so there's no limit to the amount of stuff you could stack on this thing. Okay, so whenever you are ready, you could just nuke and call it a day. Okay, so that's the build, and yeah, that's pretty much. Okay, so let's go in and let me show you guys how this works. Okay, but one thing you guys want to keep in mind is this mailing effect right here. So this mailing card, if it shows up here, so this card right here, you can only use it once. Okay, you could only use it once. Okay, because if you use this card again, you're actually going to be losing out on the extra hit, because Melanie is also a passion character. So you know, when she uses this card again, she actually going to be she's going to trigger this effect, and it's not going to affect Heidemarie. Okay, so you can only use this once. And then yeah, once until you are able to nuke, and then you could recycle. Okay, but yeah, anyways, let's go in and let me show you guys how this works. So we're gonna do that, and then I'm actually gonna do move one random card of this unit from the graveyard to hand. So we're gonna do this right here. That's fine, it doesn't matter, just to get the shield. And then we're gonna create a bunch of cards inside the graveyard. Okay, boom. When like the extra attacks, when like Heidemarie, the extra attack Heidemarie doesn't count toward the extra hit. Okay, so don't worry about that. You only need to care about like using mailing card once. Okay, only once. Okay, do not ruin it. Okay, but since we don't have anything here, I'm just gonna use Tifera card, and we're gonna enter turn right here. Okay, because we can't really do much here. I'm actually gonna select this, and then we're gonna use no, not that one. We're gonna use more of these guys right here. So we're gonna pull it. Bam. Okay. Okay. So look at this. See, we're gonna have to use this later. Okay. So let's not do that. Let's not do that yet. I'm just gonna do this heal right here. Okay. Give more AP, and then I could actually use these guys right now. I don't want to lose. Okay, you know what? Let's use this right now. We're gonna wait until the next turn. Okay. Okay, bam. So as you guys can see, this card is getting buffed every time I throw cards inside the graveyard. Okay, so just keep that in mind. I'm just gonna discard this personal card because I don't need it at the moment. Okay. All right. So we have about like 5,800 right here. Okay, we're gonna end the turn here. We are wait one more turn to nuke. So let's wait. Okay. Unfortunately, I didn't get the. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We're gonna wait. So we're gonna do this. Just get more AP right now. Right. This one we could draw 2 cards right now. So hopefully we could pull Meline's card right real quick. Okay, we didn't get anything here, unfortunately. Okay, what do we got here? Okay, we got a bunch of them in the graveyard right now. So we're gonna just do AP right here, AP right there, it's fine. Okay. Let's end the turn right now, actually. I need that card to come back to my hand real quick. Okay, guys. So it took me a lot of time to set this thing up, but we have it. Okay. So let me show you guys how this works. Okay. So this card, if you guys don't know, I already explained it, but it's a really good wizard. Okay. So this is like the second part. As I said, one extra hit to passion card. Let me show you guys how that works. Okay. So we stacked up a bunch of cards right here now. As you guys can see, we have a bunch of these things inside the graveyard right now. As you guys can see, right, a lot of blade cards. So and you see that times 2 on next to the damage number, that is extra hit mainly added to this. Okay, and now this thing gonna be hitting like a truck. Okay, so let me show you guys how this works. Okay, so this probably might get patched, but let's see how this works. Okay, so look at this. Right, because of the extra hit, she's gonna be hitting twice with this card right now. Look at this, 16-7. Look at this, 141,000 damage. Okay, so that's how the mailing team works. Okay, so yeah, I'm glad I was able to show you guys. Okay, but this one does take a lot of time to set up because I have a bunch of like unnecessary like cards inside my deck, so it's kind of hard to get the right like setup for this. But if you guys have like a better deck built like this, with only like this card alone, yeah, you guys gonna be chilling with this build. Okay, this build is absolutely disgusting. Okay, so yeah, that's the second team I want to show you guys. Okay, so yeah, and then we're going to go into the third team next, and I want to show you guys how that works as well. And the third team is pretty much with Orlia right here. Okay, so this is pretty much your vulnerable stacking build. Okay, so for the Orlia team, the idea behind this is pretty much you're gonna be stacking a bunch of vulnerable with Orlia, and you're gonna be just nuking with Heidemarie. Okay, so it's not as simple to set this thing up, but it's actually a lot of like really fun like combination you guys can do with her Orlia and Heidemarie. Okay. And the idea behind this, of course, you want the soft creation effect first, because that also provides you with 2 vulnerable right there. And then when it comes to this card, you want to duplicate this card specifically, because what it does, it will heal 156% and will select 1 card of this unit in hand and activate a retain effect 2 times, right? And when that card is a softy, 2 vulnerable, right? This is very, very good right there. So that's why you want the softy creation first, so you guys can target the softy like creations with this, and then stack up a bunch of vulnerable. Okay. For this one, I went with the upgrade right here that lets me create 2 creations, and then at the start of the turn it will create 1 more, right? It's not as like important, but it's actually pretty decent. This one I didn't get the vulnerable one, I got different one unfortunately, but it's fine. We're gonna change this with an editing like material. And for Heidemarie, you guys can't use the same build. Okay, you guys can't do the same like the 6 sword in the graveyard build right there. You guys will be fine. Okay, and Tifera save data is the same. Okay, for Tifera is the same save data right there. So we are just going in, and I want to try to show you guys how this works. Okay, this one is interesting. Okay, okay, let's just start this real quick. Okay, we can use the upgrade card right now. We could discard a couple of cards right now. We're gonna retain this card because when you retain it, it will create a 3-star softy. Okay, so we don't want to use that right now. I'm just gonna use. I have this one right here. This is very powerful. Draw 1 when an attack card is drawn. 2 morale for 1 turn, and then when this card is discarded, activate this card. I got a couple. I got like double engraving of that, so I'll be able to draw like 4 cards. Okay, no, actually like 3 cards at least. Okay, so very, very good right there. Okay, so I think for now I am actually just gonna use 2 of the upgrade cards. Okay, so we're just gonna use the 2 upgrade cards, and then we're gonna chill. So we have sturdy and softy. Swifty, we don't need those. As you can see, we got 3-star softy right there. Okay, we're gonna use this sturdy right now because we don't need it. So for this one, I'll need a lot of AP, so I'm just gonna use AP right now. And then for the second one, I'm just gonna upgrade the damage right here. Okay, I'm just gonna use this softy card right now, and then we're gonna do the growth acceleration. We're gonna target softy, so we can see, like, look, if we look at the enemy right here, he already got 3 vulnerable on him. Okay, we're gonna do the same right now. Okay, we're gonna click on softy right there, and that's adding what, like, look at this. Right, you have 5 now, so that's pretty much it. You're gonna be stacking a bunch of these vulnerables, and when you are ready, you can just nuke. Okay, we're gonna use this again, it doesn't matter, and then we're gonna end the turn. Okay, there you go, that's fine. Okay, we got Swifty. We're not gonna use Swifty. We're gonna target Softy again, right? Just to get that extra, damage. See, bro already got like 7 vulnerable, right? So I'll try to stack this thing up and I'll show you guys how this works, okay? When you encounter something like that, even if you discard a couple of cards and she attacks, it's fine, because the vulnerable, you're gonna keep stacking this thing up, so you're gonna get even more vulnerable, okay? So if you lose a couple of vulnerable because she extra attacks, it's fine. But yeah, the main thing is you pretty much just gonna be stacking a bunch of vulnerable on the enemy, okay? So we're gonna do this. Okay, we're gonna I'm just gonna use the attack increase right here. That's fine. We got this. I need to take this thing out of the deck right here. It's fine. So I'll stack this thing up and I'll come back to you. See guys, already so I could do like that much damage already, guys. Okay, because of vulnerable and the stuff on the graveyard. Okay, so very good. Okay guys, so I went ahead and might stack up at least like 11 vulnerable on this thing. Because I want to show you guys how much damage you guys can do with this team. Okay, you guys can also just, you know, don't need to stack this thing up. Okay, you guys do not need to stack the vulnerable on here, because the thing with Heidemarie is every time she discard anything, she attacks, so you're gonna be losing vulnerable every time you stack it up. Okay, so you guys can just, you know, go ahead and just, you know, add a couple vulnerable every turn and do extra damage to the enemy. That way, if you guys want to use her cards, okay. But if you guys don't want to use her cards, and you want to just do a one-shot like build, then you guys can just stack a bunch of them without attacking. So do not discard using any ability, okay? Just in the turn, so Heidemarie doesn't do her follow-up attacks, okay? In the turn, every time her cards appear, like her cards are like linked and they're on your hand, just in the turn, okay? Do not, you know, activate them, because when you activate them, she attacks and you're gonna lose a vulnerable stack, okay? So if you want to do a one-shot build, you guys can just in the turn and just keep stacking up the vulnerable, right? Every time the vulnerable, every time you get this card right here, okay? Let me show you guys, right? The Orlia card right here. So every time you get, yeah, so every time you get this card right here, just in the turn after activating it, so you guys can keep stacking up the vulnerable, okay? But this is pretty much what we can do right now with 11 vulnerable, okay? She didn't crit, by the way, okay? She's doing like 136,000 damage, okay? Or you could, if you guys don't want to do that, you guys can just, you know, just activate her cards and then see. Yeah, the awkward thing about this Orlia team is every time you discard her cards, she attacks, right? Without you wanting her to attack, she attacks. So that's the problem right there. So you guys can use the vulnerable like that, or you guys can do a one-shot build where you stack a bunch of, you know, vulnerable without discarding her card on a turn, and rather just ending the turn, okay? So that way she doesn't do her follow-up attack, okay? So for example, I'm just gonna draw a couple of cards right now. Okay, we're gonna end the turn right here. Okay. See, like when it's like this, it's actually good, because here you guys can't just activate it without her doing her thing right here, okay? But yeah, again, you're just gonna end the turn right here and just stack up a bunch of stuff. See, for example, right, this thing got like 5 vulnerable at the moment, right? I mean 2 vulnerable, right? But if I try to use this thing, since she's gonna be discarding her card, she's gonna be attacking and we're gonna lose our vulnerable stack, okay? So that's one issue you guys might run into when you guys are encountering dealing with like somebody like Orlia in a team. But the good thing is you guys can use it twice, okay? Like 2 different ways, okay? You guys can just discard without activating any of Heidemarie cards. You're just gonna end the turn, and then when the next turn comes, you're just gonna be using Orlia cards to stack up a bunch of vulnerable on the enemy, and then whenever you're ready, you could just like nuke with her Effulgent Release card, okay? So that, yeah, so those are the 3 comps I want to show you guys how they work and stuff like that. But anyways, let's get to the main reason of this video, okay? Is Heidemarie must summon? I think she's a must summon, okay? This is a long-winded answer, but she's a must summon, okay? Absolutely broken character, okay? And if you guys can, I highly recommend you guys to actually get her to E2, because her E2 is just absolutely broken, okay? This thing is disgusting, okay? All of her dupes are probably she's the only character with that all of her dupes like matter actually. But most people, they are not going to be A6 singer or anything, so going up to E2 is actually really good, because what her E2 does is, like I said in the beginning, at the start of the battle, moves the Effulgent Compression card to hand. This is really good right here, because This thing need to be discarded 3 times in order to get the Fulgent release card, okay? So having this E2 gonna make it a lot easier to discard that card, okay? And then as the start of the turn, gain 5 Crimson Blade, and this Crimson Blade is very powerful because when a linked card is used manually or discarded, 100%, 120% extra attack to enemies with the highest HP, and when activated, decrease Crimson Blade by 1 up to 8 stacks, right? So very, very good E2, okay? But and her partner is also absolutely broken, so I'll say her partner is also a must-have, okay, because this thing is just way too powerful to skip on, okay. So both Heidemarie and her partner absolutely broken, okay, definitely worthy of a limited character, okay. Anyways, that's it for the video, and let me know what you think about the 3 team synergy you guys can make. That's like very, very powerful, okay. There 3 very powerful teams. Of course, the Melian and Orlia one can be a little awkward to use. The Selena and Nia team is probably the easiest one, okay. But yeah, anyways, that is it for the video. Thanks for watching, and of course, don't forget to like and subscribe if you guys enjoyed the video, and bye bye.